It was a quiet night on Earth. The stars above shined like they always did, calm and peaceful. People were busy with their normal lives, working, laughing, sleeping. No one knew that something strange was happening far above, just beyond what the eye could see. In space, many dark shapes moved silently, coming closer to Earth. They made no noise. They sent no message. They just kept coming. At first, it was only the scientists with space telescopes who noticed. A team at the International Space Watch Center spotted the objects. They thought it was a mistake. Maybe broken satellites or asteroids. But soon, more observatories around the world confirmed the same thing. Thousands of unknown objects were moving toward Earth. They were huge, and they were perfectly silent. Within hours, every major space agency, from NASA to the Chinese Space Command, had raised the alarm. In just one day, the objects stopped. They formed a ring around the planet, just outside Earth's orbit. No weapons were fired. No contact was made. They didn't move. They just sat there, like watchers. The world fell into confusion and fear. Were they ships? Probes? Some kind of space wall? No one knew. Every satellite and telescope pointed at the ring, trying to understand what it was. But the silence continued. The United Nations called for an emergency meeting. Leaders from every country joined by video calls and secure lines. Military heads shared their worries. If it was an alien fleet, Earth was completely surrounded. There was no escape. Earth had never seen anything like this before. The situation was clear. Something powerful had arrived. Something not human. People across the world began to panic. Social media exploded with rumors. Some said it was the end of the world. Others believed it was the beginning of contact with aliens. News channels showed pictures of the dark ships floating in space. They looked like giant insects, cold and without lights. Some were larger than cities. Children asked their parents if everything would be okay. But the parents had no answers. In the middle of all this fear, governments tried to keep people calm. But inside secret rooms, they were terrified. Earth had no real space defense. No fleets. No space weapons. Only a few satellites and space stations that could do nothing against such a force. Some world leaders wanted to send a message, to ask the aliens why they were here. Others feared that any contact might make them angry. And so, for 2 days, Earth waited. No action, no attack, just fear and silence. Then, on the 3rd day, everything changed. A signal came through. It was not in any known language. But Earth's computers, using advanced AI, worked quickly to decode it. The message was simple, only 4 words. You are surrounded. Surrender. Panic turned into horror. The aliens had spoken. And their message was clear. They were not here to talk. They were not here to be friends. They were here to take control. Surrender, or else. The message came with a countdown. 7 days. No more, no less. Dr. Ilara Voss, a top scientist at the European Space Defense Program, was one of the first to read the decoded message. She stood in silence for a long time. Then she said something that surprised the others in the room. They don't know us, she said. They think we'll just give up. But we won't. All around the world, people watched the skies. The dark ring of ships didn't move. They simply waited, like hunters watching their prey. The clock was ticking. 7 days to surrender, or Earth would face the unknown. But Earth was not ready to give up. Not yet. In secret bunkers, scientists and military leaders began to meet. They knew that the aliens were far more advanced. Their technology was beyond anything humans had, but humans had something else. The will to survive. The power to fight back in ways no one expected. And most of all, they had hope. The night was still quiet. The stars still shined. But now, every human looking at the sky saw something new. They saw the dark ships above. They saw danger. And they saw a choice. Fight or fall. Earth had 7 days, and no one knew what would happen next. The world was no longer the same after the message came. You are surrounded. Surrender. Those 4 words echoed across every country. On TV, in the streets, on phones and radios. Everyone was talking about it. Fear filled every corner of the planet. 7 days. That was all the time Earth had. But still, no attack came. The dark ships above stayed silent, watching, waiting. Governments moved fast. Emergency plans were made. Military bases were put on high alert. Fighter jets stayed in the sky. Warships moved into position. But deep inside, the leaders knew the truth. Earth had no weapons that could fight an enemy from the stars. These ships were too big, too powerful, too quiet. If they wanted to destroy Earth, they could do it in seconds. In a hidden meeting room under the Swiss mountains, top leaders from many countries sat around a long table. Screens showed the alien ships in space. Military generals looked tense. Scientists whispered to each other. The president of the United Earth Council, a woman named Sarah Lynn, stood up and spoke. "We have no time," she said. "If we wait, we lose. We must think differently." People argued. Some wanted to surrender and hoped the aliens would spare them. Others said humans should launch all weapons at once in one final strike. But one voice rose above the noise. It was Dr. Ilara Voss. She was calm, but her eyes were sharp. "They are watching us," she said. "They want to see fear. They'd want us to panic. But what if we show them something else?" The room went quiet. "We don't fight them with strength," Ilara said. "We fight them with something they've never seen. Human creativity, human unpredictability." People stared at her. She explained further. Years ago, her team had found something. A small alien probe that crashed into Earth. It was broken, but they had kept it hidden from the world. Since then, her team had been studying it, learning how the alien systems worked. They had even started building new technology based on it. It was risky. It was unfinished, but it was humanity's only hope. Sarah Lynn looked at her. "Are you saying we have alien tech?" Ilara nodded. "We've been working on it for years. It's not ready. But maybe, just maybe, we can finish it in time." The council agreed. Earth's only chance was to finish this secret project. They gave it a name, Project Last Stand. In hidden labs deep underground, in space stations floating in orbit, and in bunkers across the world, scientists and engineers began to work day and night. They connected wires, tested weapons, and ran endless simulations. They called in the smartest minds from every country. Everyone was told one thing: tell no one. The aliens must not know. On the outside, Earth pretended to prepare for surrender. But inside, it was preparing for war. Meanwhile, the alien fleet stayed silent. No movement, no second message. But they were watching. They saw Earth's news. They heard the leaders talking about peace. They believed humans were afraid. But they didn't see what was happening underground. Dr. Ilara worked without sleep. She led the team building something powerful, something never seen before. A ship made with alien and human parts. A weapon that could turn the war around. But it was far from ready. There were problems. Power failures. System crashes. Some scientists wanted to give up. It's too big, they said. It can't be done in 7 days. But Ilara never stopped. She kept pushing, kept working. She believed in one thing. Humans never give up when it matters most. On the 4th day, something strange happened. One of Earth's satellites spotted a small alien drone moving near the moon. It was scanning Earth's defenses. It flew close to one of Earth's secret launch sites. If the aliens saw what humans were building, everything would be lost. The military tried to shoot it down, but it was too fast. For hours, they chased it, until finally, a pilot named Commander Rafe took a risk. He flew close, used his ship's engine to blind the drone's sensors, and smashed into it. Both the drone and Rafe's ship exploded. He was Earth's first hero, and his sacrifice saved Project Last Stand. But now the aliens knew something was wrong. The very next day, Earth received a second message. Impressive. You resist. But your time is almost over. This time, it came with a new countdown. 3 days. The pressure grew. Everyone worked faster. No sleep. No breaks. Only the mission. The sky still held the same ring of ships. Still cold. Still silent. But now, Earth was no longer the same. It was not waiting anymore. It was preparing. And deep down, a fire had started. Humanity was not ready to die. It was ready to fight. 3 days left. The skies above Earth were still filled with alien ships. Thousands of them floated like shadows around the planet, quiet and unmoving. They looked calm, but everyone on Earth knew the danger was growing. The second message from the aliens had made it clear. They were watching. And they were not patient. 3 days, the message said. After that, no more warnings. Inside secret bases around the world, the real work continued. While the public waited in fear and governments acted like they were preparing to surrender, the best minds on Earth were focused on one thing: Project Last Stand. It was Earth's only chance to survive, and time was running out. Deep underground, Dr. Ilara Voss and her team worked nonstop. They had turned a hidden bunker into the most advanced lab on the planet. Screens showed alien blueprints. Tables were filled with strange tools and glowing devices. Sparks flew as engineers and scientists built something no one had ever seen before. A ship that used both human and alien technology. Fast, powerful, and dangerous. This ship was based on a secret most people didn't know. Years ago, a small alien craft had crashed in the desert. No one knew where it came from, but it was clearly not from Earth. The government had covered it up. Only a small group of scientists had been allowed to study it, and Ilara was one of them. She had spent years understanding the alien systems, how their engines worked, how they powered their weapons, and how they controlled their ships. Slowly, piece by piece, she had learned. And now, all that knowledge was being used. Not just to build a ship, but to build a weapon that could give Earth a chance. Outside the lab, Earth looked calm. But inside, every second mattered. Teams ran tests, fixed systems, and ran simulations. Some systems failed again and again, but they kept going. Failure was not an option. This was not just about survival. This was about showing the aliens that humanity was not weak, not easy to crush, not ready to give up. In space, the alien ships stayed still, but Earth's satellites saw something new. Small drones moving between the ships, scanning, watching, learning. The aliens were gathering data. They were preparing their own strike, and once the countdown hit 0, they would attack without mercy. One of Earth's stealth satellites picked up something worrying. One of the alien drones had entered Earth's orbit. It was scanning communication signals, looking for secret locations. If it found Project Last Stand, it would be over. Ilara and her team had to act fast. They jammed the drone's signals and sent a small, experimental drone of their own to follow it. The chase was short. Earth's drone locked on, flew close, and exploded, taking the alien drone with it. It was a small win, but now they knew. The aliens suspected something. They were watching more closely. Tension filled every room of the lab. The new ship, called the Edge, was still not ready. Its power core was unstable. Its weapons had not been tested. But they had no choice. They had to finish it. Not tomorrow. Not in 2 days. Now. Ilara stood in front of her team. Her voice was calm, but her eyes showed fire. They think we are weak. They think we only run. But they don't understand what humans can do when we stand together. We are not just building a ship. We are building our future. Those words lit something in the team. They worked harder, faster. They believed. Meanwhile, in a space station above Earth, another secret was being prepared. a hacking system made to attack the alien network. Earth couldn't fight the alien fleet ship to ship, but maybe it could break their systems from the inside. If they could plant a virus into the alien network, they might shut down their ships or confuse them long enough to strike. It was a crazy plan, a dangerous one, but it was the only plan they had. All across the world, people watched the skies. The news kept playing the same scenes: the alien ring, the countdown, the silence. Fear was everywhere, but in small ways, people began to change. They began to hope. They saw that their leaders had not surrendered, that something was happening behind the scenes, that maybe, just maybe, Earth had a chance. With 2 days left, Ilara stood beside the nearly completed ship. The edge was beautiful and strange, glowing with energy. It didn't look like any Earth ship, and that was the point. It was something new, something the aliens wouldn't expect. But there was no time to admire it. They had 48 hours, and then the real fight would begin. Earth had kept its secrets long enough. Now it was time to get ready to reveal them. You said. The countdown continued. 2 days left. Earth waited for what everyone feared: a full alien attack. But still, the ships above made no move. They just floated in silence, forming a dark wall in the sky. The people of Earth were afraid, but the fear had begun to turn into something stronger: determination. Deep underground, Dr. Ilara Voss and her team finally finished building the secret ship, the Edge. It was a mix of alien and human design. Sharp, fast, and powerful. No one had ever flown anything like it. And now it was ready. But it was only one ship. That wouldn't be enough to win. So Earth launched the next part of Project Last Stand: stealth drones and cyber attacks. Ilara's plan was simple, but risky. If humans couldn't beat the aliens with strength, maybe they could beat them with something else. Surprise! The goal was to strike first. Show the aliens that Earth was not afraid. Show them that humans could fight smart. At sunrise, Earth launched its first real attack. Dozens of small drones, built in secret, flew silently into space. They were hard to see, covered in black metal, using stolen alien tech. They didn't show up on any radar. At the same time, the Earth's most powerful AI systems began to hack into the alien network. The virus was simple. It would confuse the alien ships, break their connection, and hopefully shut down some of their weapons. The moment the drones reached the edge of the alien ring, everything changed. One of the drones attached itself to an alien scout ship. It sent a signal back to Earth, confirming the target was hit. Then the virus activated. Inside the alien ship, lights flickered. Engines failed. The ship slowly began to drift. The other aliens noticed. For the first time, a small part of the ring moved. Ships began to turn, scanning for threats. Then, Earth launched the second wave. This time, fighters. A team of 5 brave pilots flew Earth's fastest jets straight into space. They knew they couldn't win in a direct battle. Their mission was to distract the alien fleet while the hacking continued. One of the pilots, Captain Mira Chen, flew straight toward the biggest alien ship. It was massive, like a floating city. But she didn't stop. At the last second, she launched a special EMP missile, made to shut down systems. It hit the alien ship, and for a few moments, the giant ship stopped moving. The world cheered. It was the first time an alien ship had been damaged by humans. The aliens had expected Earth to surrender. They had expected fear. Instead, Earth had fought back, and it worked. But victory did not come easily. The aliens responded quickly. Bright blue lights flashed across the sky as they fired energy weapons. 2 of Earth's jets were destroyed instantly. The others escaped, just barely. Drones were shot down. One even exploded near a satellite, causing communication problems across Europe. Still, Earth had made its point. Dr. Ilara stood in the control room, watching the data. "We hurt them," she said. "Not much, but enough." The team continued to monitor the alien ships. The virus had worked, but only for a few minutes. The aliens had strong firewalls. They were fast learners. Soon, their systems were recovering. But it was too late to erase what had happened. The aliens now knew Earth would not bow. Earth would fight. Later that day, a new message arrived. It was from the alien leader, a being known only as Commander Threx. His voice was cold and deep. The message played on every screen, in every language. Impressive, but foolish. You delay the end, nothing more. Now we come with full force. People across Earth felt a new kind of fear. The first strike had worked, but it had also made the enemy angry. Satellites picked up movement. The alien ships were no longer quiet. They were forming attack lines. A new group of ships, larger and sharper, began moving toward Earth's orbit. These were not scouts. These were warships. The Earth Council met immediately. Some wanted to launch everything they had. Missiles, jets, even nukes. But Ilara had a different idea. "Not yet," she said. "We still have one more move to make." The edge was just the beginning. She turned to a large map on the screen. Beneath the oceans, another secret project was almost ready. Larger, more powerful. A weapon designed not to escape, but to win. It was called the Hammer of Earth, and it was almost complete. The first strike was over. Earth had taken the risk, and it had survived. But now, the real war was about to begin. You said. The alien fleet was moving now, no longer silent, no longer waiting. Their warships turned toward Earth like sharp knives in space, glowing with energy. Everyone knew they were coming. The message from Commander Threx had made it clear. The time for games was over. Earth's first strike had surprised them, even hurt them. But now, the aliens were ready to crush humanity completely. Panic started to rise again across the planet. People filled the streets. Some tried to leave cities. Others went underground. But deep beneath the Atlantic Ocean, in a base that didn't officially exist, Earth was preparing its most powerful answer yet. It was called the Hammer of Earth, a weapon so secret, even many world leaders didn't know it was real. Dr. Ilara Voss stood inside the underwater base, looking at the giant machine rising in the water. It looked like a fortress, half ship, half cannon, taller than any building on Earth. Its core glowed with a strange blue light, the same energy found in the alien tech they had studied for years. That was the key. Earth couldn't match the alien fleet in number, but it could use what it had learned to strike back hard and smart. The hammer wasn't just a weapon. It was a message. All across Earth, military forces waited. Missiles were ready. Satellites tracked every alien movement. But they all knew the truth. None of it would be enough without the hammer. This was humanity's final card. Ilara walked with Admiral Keegan, the man in charge of Earth's defense. His face was rough and tired, but focused. "Will it work?" he asked her. "It has to," Ilara said. The plan was simple, but dangerous. Let the alien warships get close. Pretend to prepare for surrender. Then, once they were in range, use the hammer's energy core to fire a massive EMP wave, one powerful enough to shut down every alien ship in Earth's orbit for just a few minutes. That would be their only chance to strike. In those few minutes, Earth would launch everything. The edge, cyber attacks, missiles, special fighter teams. It had to be fast, precise, perfect. If they missed their chance, the alien fleet would recover, and Earth would be lost. Back in orbit, the alien ships were now less than 12 hours from full attack range. Earth's leaders gave the order. Begin final countdown. Soldiers were placed in position. Fighter pilots climbed into their ships. Engineers made last checks on the hammer. Ilara didn't sleep. No one did. Then, hours before the attack, something unexpected happened. A small alien pod broke away from the fleet and landed on Earth, right in the middle of the Sahara Desert. Everyone thought it was a weapon. Troops rushed to the site. Tanks surrounded the pod. But when it opened, it was not an attack. It was a message. A hologram appeared above the pod. It showed an alien, not Threx, but another being. Older, slower. He spoke in calm tones. "You surprised us," the alien said. "You are not like the others we have conquered. You adapt. You learn. But this is your final warning. Surrender now, and we will keep your species alive." It was a trick. Ilara knew it. A final scare tactic. Earth had come too far to stop now. She gave the order. "Begin the hammer sequence." The ocean base shook as power flooded into the hammer. Lights turned red. The massive energy core started to spin. Across the world, screens showed the countdown. 60 minutes until alien strike range. The Edge rose into space, piloted by Captain Mira Chen. She had survived the first strike. Now she was ready for the real fight. Her ship was faster than anything the aliens had seen. And it carried something special. A concentrated pulse bomb made from alien tech. If she could reach the command ship and deliver it at the right moment, Earth might have a real chance. As the alien warships approached, the hammer reached full charge. The ocean boiled above it. Its core glowed brighter than the sun. All systems were green. And then, right as the alien ships crossed into range, Ilara pressed the button. A blinding wave of energy shot into the sky, wrapping around the Earth. Satellites blinked. Alien ships froze in place. Their lights flickered. Weapons shut down. For a moment, the sky above Earth went completely silent. This was the moment. The Edge shot forward. Fighter jets launched from secret bases. Cyberviruses flooded the alien network. Missiles flew through the sky like arrows. Humanity had waited, planned, and hoped. And now it was striking with everything it had. Inside the alien fleet, chaos began. Systems were crashing. Commands weren't being followed. Ships started drifting. But the shutdown wouldn't last long. Ilara watched the clock. 3 minutes, she said. 3 minutes to decide the future of the world. The battle for Earth had truly begun. The sky above Earth was on fire. Alien warships floated in chaos, their systems still shut down by the massive EMP wave from the hammer of Earth. Lights on their hulls flickered like dying stars. For the first time since they had surrounded the planet, the aliens looked weak. But time was running out. The EMP would only last for 3 minutes. After that, the alien ships would come back online. Stronger, angrier. Earth had one chance to hit them hard. Right now. Captain Mira Chen, flying the Edge, darted between the floating warships. Her ship was faster than anything the aliens had. She twisted through debris, dodged the drifting bodies of scout ships, and locked her eyes on the largest ship in the fleet, the alien command ship. It looked like a black pyramid floating in space, with energy rings spinning slowly around it. This was the heart of the alien force. If Earth could destroy it, the entire fleet might collapse. At the very least, it would confuse their command structure. Mira's ship carried a pulse bomb made from stolen alien tech, designed to tear through shields and overload enemy power systems. She flew low, almost touching the surface of the command ship. Alarms flashed on her screen. The EMP wave was already starting to fade. The alien ships would wake up soon. Mira took a deep breath. "For Earth," she whispered. She released the bomb. A bright blue light exploded across the command ship's surface. The rings stopped spinning. Energy flickered, then burst. A fireball rolled through the upper level of the ship. For a few seconds, everything around the ship went dark. Then, Earth's second wave hit. Thousands of missiles, drones, and fighter jets launched their attacks. The skies were full of motion. One by one, disabled alien ships were hit by Earth's weapons. Some exploded, others spun out of control and crashed into each other. The virus that Earth had sent into the alien network now caused even more damage. Some ships were turning against their own allies. In the control room deep underground, Dr. Ilara Voss watched the battle in silence. She saw the command ship take heavy damage. She saw Mira's ship flying back toward Earth, chased by enemy drones. She saw missiles reaching targets that had seemed impossible. And then the countdown hit 0. The EMP wore off. Alien ships lit up again, their engines humming with energy. Lights turned red. Weapons powered back on. The quiet moment was over. Now the real war began. The aliens fought back with terrifying speed. Beams of light shot across the sky, destroying satellites and fighter squadrons. Several of Earth's ships were wiped out in seconds. One of the ocean bases was hit by a blast from orbit. Earth felt the pain immediately, but no one gave up. Mira's ship was hit by debris and began to lose power. Sparks flew inside the cockpit. "I'm not done yet," she said, forcing the controls to respond. She turned the edge back toward the battlefield. In space, the alien command ship began to repair itself, but slowly. The pulse bomb had done real damage. Its shield system was failing. Earth's forces targeted it again, this time with everything. Dr. Ilara gave the order. "Send the hammer's second shot." From beneath the ocean, the hammer of Earth fired again. This time, not an EMP, but a physical strike. A massive energy spear shot into the sky and hit the command ship straight through its center. The alien ship cracked apart in a giant explosion. Pieces of burning metal fell into the ocean. Cheers broke out all over the world. One of the largest alien ships was gone, but the rest of the fleet was still dangerous. Half of the alien warships began retreating, moving back into deeper space. The rest fought harder, as if driven by rage. Earth's air forces took heavy losses. The Edge was too damaged to fly much longer. On the ground, more cities came under attack from falling alien debris. Then something strange happened. A new ship appeared. It wasn't from Earth, and it wasn't like the others. It looked older, with markings that didn't match any known alien language. It broadcast a signal that only Ilara's systems could read. "Do not fear. We watched. We waited. Now, we help." The signal came from an unknown species, observers from deep space who had stayed hidden while Earth fought alone. They had seen the bravery of humanity. They had seen Earth strike first, stand tall, and refuse to kneel. Now they were joining the fight. Their ships were fewer in number, but powerful. They cut through the alien fleet like lightning. The alien warships that had stayed behind began to fall back. Dr. Ilara looked at the screen, her eyes wide with shock and hope. "They're leaving," she said. "They're actually leaving." And they were. The aliens had lost their command ship. Their systems had been hacked. Their pride had been broken. And now new enemies had joined Earth's side. They couldn't win this fight anymore. For the first time in history, Earth had faced a galaxy-level threat and survived.
The war wasn't over. But the tide had turned. The alien ships were retreating. What once looked like a wall of doom around Earth was now a broken fleet fleeing into the stars. Sparks trailed behind damaged warships. Some spun out of control. Others tried to cover the retreat but were taken down by Earth's remaining forces, or by the mysterious new allies who had just arrived. Dr. Ilara Voss stood quietly in the command center, her hands still shaking. The battle was ending, but she could hardly believe it. All screens around her showed the same thing. Alien ships disappearing from Earth's orbit. The sky was finally clearing. It had happened. Humanity had done the impossible. Captain Mira Chen, Flying the damaged but still alive ship known as the Edge looked out at the stars. Her ship was burning, panels broken, alarms flashing, but she smiled. "We did it," she whispered. "We really did it." Below, across every city, country, and continent, people came out of shelters. They looked up at the sky, expecting fire. Instead, they saw sunlight breaking through the smoke. Some cried. Others cheered. Strangers hugged each other in the streets. Earth was still here. But the victory didn't come without loss. Many cities had been damaged. Thousands of lives were lost. Brave pilots and engineers gave everything to defend their home. Ilara thought of every name on a list of fallen. She knew they would never be forgotten. Their courage had helped change history. In the following days, Earth worked quickly to recover. Drones cleaned the skies. Aid was sent to the worst-hit areas. World leaders met in the ruins of the old United Nations building, which now stood as a symbol of unity. For the first time, there were no flags, just one: Earth's. The mysterious alien allies who had helped in the final hour sent a message. Their leader, a being made of light and sound, appeared to Ilara through a special device. "You fought when no one thought you could. You stood when others would fall. We are not your masters. We are not your saviors. But we saw your heart. And now we will walk beside you." They called themselves the Velari, a race older than any human could imagine. Watchers. Peacekeepers. They never interfered, until now. Earth's defiance had impressed them. The Velari gave no weapons, no armies, but they offered knowledge, science, ideas that could help humanity grow, heal, defend. Ilara stood before a crowd days later, speaking for all of Earth. "We were surrounded, outnumbered, alone, but we stood together. We fought as one world. We survived not just with weapons, but with bravery, with sacrifice, and with hope. This victory does not belong to governments. It belongs to the people." Mira was in the crowd, her flight suit still dusty and torn. She smiled up at Ilara, proud. Around her, young kids looked up with wide eyes. Heroes were no longer just stories in books. They were real. The Hammer of Earth, now a symbol of defense, was renamed the Guardian Core. Instead of being a secret weapon, it was turned into a peacekeeping base, watched over by all nations. The Edge, though damaged, was placed in a museum for future generations to see. And Mira? She started training new pilots, preparing for whatever might come next. Humanity had entered a new age. It wasn't just about survival anymore. It was about becoming something more. Earth had shown the galaxy that it would never kneel, that it would rise, even when cornered, that it could surprise even the most advanced invaders. And deep in space, far beyond any telescope's reach, the broken remnants of Commander Threx's fleet floated silently. His command ship, cracked and powerless, drifted among stars. Some said he escaped. Others believed he perished in the battle. But one thing was certain. He had learned what so many others would now learn too. Earth was not weak. Humanity was not afraid. And when pushed to the edge, humanity pulled off the impossible.